So thank you for having me here today. This is the topic that I am so excited talking about is how we can enable children to attain optimal attention and be able to learn. And so we're going to talk today about movement and how movement really impacts on attention and learning. Movement is hugely integral for literacy. And the reason why is because of the stimulation of two different systems. So I'm going to talk about each one of these. Once you understand the system, then your world is open to a plethora of different techniques that you can use to stimulate these two systems. So the first one, the vestibular system, is a series of 3 canals. There's 2 located inside the ear. We often call it our inner ear. These canals are situated in different planes to pick up different types of movement: linear movement, rotary movement, up and down movement. And in those canals, there's fluid. And when we move, when children move, that fluid gets swished. And there's hair cells in the canals that have receptors at the base, send information to the brain that says, okay, you're going to fall over, contract over here, and bring back to center. So if we kind of think of a good way to stimulate the vestibular system is swings. And so if you think of a child on a swing and they're swinging forward, okay, the vestibular system goes, whoa, you're falling back. The G's are taking them off the back. Contract front, bring into center. And then the swing goes like this. The opposite happens. The G's are moving the child forward. Think of merry-go-rounds. Hugely beneficial to developing what we call core tone. So it's absolutely crucial for children to have a strong core. From core, everything happens on its way out. If we don't have core, and we have a lot of children I see with very low tone, we have drooling, we have inability to hold head up, we have inability to stand independently. When they sit on the floor, and I see lots of these children in kindergarten, they fall over, they're leaning on other kids. If we don't have core, it's going to be very difficult for that child to ever do anything with, again, both sides of the body, so the hands, the eye to hand. Vestibular stimulation is hugely important for ocular muscle coordination. So for the eyes to be able to locate, track, dislocate, relocate, that requires coordination. Again, the underlying sensory stimulation for coordination is vestibular. So for reading, for printing, for just walking through space, for playing out on the playground, for doing any sports, children need that strong core. They need the eyes to talk to the hand. They need the 2 eyes to talk to each other. They need the upper body to talk to the lower body. That's all found through movement. The fourth thing the vestibular system does is it regulates our arousal state. So I don't know if you've ever seen kids like rocking. I don't see any. Usually there's somebody in the room who's got a foot going or who are rocking. They're stimulating that vestibular system to stay aroused. We use vestibular stimulation a lot when we have low arousal children. So if you have those kids who just, you want to light a firecracker under them, they're just not, they're never there, kind of. They're, therapy balls. Allow them to rock. Get a rocking chair in your room. Like this stimulation is integral for arousal state. And just think of little infants. Well, what do we do when they're upset? We swish their vestibular system. Alternatively, if they're like low arousal, we might kind of go, woo, like grandma's coming, gotta wake you up, and so we even as adults, like I had this thing about I can't be up there, I have to be down here, I have to be walking, I have shoes that have rockers on them. I have to stimulate my vestibular system constantly or I would be so low arousal that you wouldn't be getting anything. So the proprioceptive system is in the joints and the muscles, activated with heavy work. Very, very crucial for refined movements. We really have to have an awake muscles and joints and that system working. What's really nice about proprioceptive stimulation as well, it's a great anger outlet. And when we look at countries that have high literacy rates, like Iceland and Finland, what are they doing that's different than Canada? Their daycare preschools are free and they're outside. They have outdoor daycare preschools. It's already started in Ontario. And the kids are doing running, jumping, playing, swinging, all sorts of stuff that is pre-literacy foundation skill building. So we have an innate need to move. You know, we weren't biologically designed to be sedentary. And we're not doing that well in the fact that we are sedentary. In fact, our kids are not doing that well at all. So there's a plethora of research around the impact of exercise on cognition, on learning, on behavior, on mental state. But the guy that I really like is John Ratty. He's a child psychiatrist. He wrote the book Spark. And if you have never read it or haven't heard of him, just Google him. CBC has a really cool film clip called Brain Gains, where he did a study in Saskatchewan with grade 9 students, where he put them all on treadmills for 45 minutes a day on a treadmill, got them up to, they had heart monitors, 75% of their maximum heart rate for 45 minutes. And they excelled. Like in 4 months, you're familiar with the study, in 4 months, they had gone up 2 grade levels. And these were kids, hard knock, grade 9. Half of them weren't even coming to school. You know, so this was like, attendance was the biggest problem. So very interesting research going on with John Ratty. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on with exercise. So we not only have increased blood flow to the brain, which is really important, oxygenation, there's a lot of neurotransmitters that are being increased, endorphins are being released. So there's a lot of really beneficial, or a lot of benefits with exercise. So one of the really interesting bits of research that he did was with frontal lobe, looking at what's going on in the frontal lobe. So frontal lobe is all about executive function, and you all know that. Also about impulsivity control. So what we're doing is we're increasing actually a circulation to the frontal lobes, which is decreasing that impulsivity and improving attention and ability to focus. So we know with our FASD and FAS kids, they have significant damage in the frontal lobe area. Let's increase that circulation to that area. We're never going to reverse the damage that has been caused, but there's a whole lot of things that we can do that optimize or make the brain more optimally functioning. So mental health, he did his whole book is all these different studies, right? So reduced anxiety, decreased stress, decreased depression, decreased addiction tendencies with exercise. And again, we're talking a significant amount, so 45 minutes of sustained activity per day. But when we get to the end of my talk, I'm gonna present my kind of dream of the future. I see treadmills, exercise bikes, chin-up bars, wobble boards in classrooms, in hallways, in the gym, in covered areas outside. We really have to, especially with the obesity issue, we really have to make these devices available to children and make it a part of their regular day. So again, in summary, child development isn't as complex as we think it is. What I'm telling you is really simple and it's really basic. Kick your kids outside, but give them stuff to do out there. Give them nature, give them proper playgrounds, give them things to do. So it's really not, as complex as we think when we're wanting kids to pay attention and learn.